Alright. What the hell is going on, everybody? It's KSL Week 45 semi-finals BYUN in the bottom right side of the map, playing a best of 3 with a funky depot positioning against Talon's Dark. So Shopify Rebellion is BYUN's team. Talon Esports representing Dark. A very good esports team. Is he going for a 15 hatch, 15 pull? Kind of looks like it here. Yeah, I think he did. Dark's been loving the 15-15 lately. He sometimes does it amazingly well, and other times he looks a little bit drunk, but that's just basically Dark playing StarCraft, isn't it? Kind of does it, you know, plays to the beat of his own drum. Command center first for BYUN. Interestingly, it's a single gas command center first. Is he just going to build a Reaper? I think he's going Marine Reaper into third command center. This is how the Hero Marine 8 racks build works, actually. I was practicing this one on the ladder after Katowice. He got solar with this build. See if BYUN does it, because it definitely looks that way since he hasn't started the second barracks. You really want to deny the overlords from scouting, and Dark has actually been so busy looking for proxy barracks. BYUN known for doing a lot of proxy barrack shenanigans, and getting that fear from your opponent is actually very effective because, yeah, Marine Reaper third command center. Oh, he's going to hide it up here. Very nice. Okay. So I don't know if he'll do the 8 racks follow-up, but definitely the follow-up that Gabe was doing with this was second and third barracks next. Try and hide those to the right, so hopefully the overlord can't see them. And then you go you slowly add a second gas. Then you get a factory and a third gas. And then you get a fourth and fifth barracks and a fourth gas. And a single engineering bay. Because the idea is you're never going past 1-1, you're just going all in on 1-1 upgrades. I don't know if BYUN's going to do that exact follow-up, but it's definitely starting the same way. And it's a super efficient into mass bio build order. Yeah, Gabe pulled out some kind of slightly gambly, low-effort bangers, I guess is what I'd describe them as. Build orders that aren't the hardest to execute. They have a bit of gamble in them, but if you catch your opponents off guard, boy, are they powerful. And, oh, BYUN gets a second Zergling. Nicely done. Ling speed is almost finished. It's a while ago. I'm still referencing Katowice builds. I think that's just because that's one of the few that I actually took the time to practice on the ladder a few games of, so it's actually wedged itself in me brain. Second gas is now up and mining. Tech lab on the way. Usually you do see actually, it was a reactor second. Reactor. Reactor into factory. We should see a third gas next. Yeah, this is absolutely similar to what we'd expect. The reason why you go single tech lab is you're not really planning to commit to a push since you've gone so greedy with 3 command centers. So instead of pushing with double tech lab, you're like, well, I want only Marine, so I don't really need a tech lab. I can just make stim then combat shields one after the other and it'll be just fine. Nice Reaper Scout. Sees that Dark is just chilling, droning up. Dark appears to be playing a Lingbane Muta game. Or Lingbane something, I mean. And that's really weak to timing attacks usually. However, if he can get through the middle stages, he could be good. Now, we do know it's a diversion from the build because we've seen double engineering bay. So BYUN is doing a more classic macro version of the follow-up. Rather than rushing to 8 barracks, he's going to go double upgrades. And that's perfectly fine. Still a very good build order. Starport goes down along with the reactor. A few Marines moving out. More than a match for those few Zerglings. Trying to scare Dark back. Dark scouting. Did see the third command center, by the way, earlier with that Overlord. I love the path. You can see the Overlord went down here. You see this gap here with the Fog of War on either side. All the way down to the edge. And then he went all the way down and up through the back of the base and saw everything. So he's got a good idea of what's up. Double Evo chamber does go down. He'll be about maybe 45 seconds or so behind on the upgrades. Not the end of the world. And we do expect a quick 4th base from Dark as well as he transitions upwards. Already has that Dark drone moving left. He's also built lots of Overlords ahead of time, realizing, hey, this is a big macro game. I got to make sure I'm on point. Interestingly, he's making quite a few Zerglings now. 1-1 upgrades have started. As I said, what's the upgrade difference? 50 seconds. 50-second upgrade advantage is not bad. A couple of the Lings do kind of derp in there. 9 Lings have gone down. Make it 10. 4th and 5th barracks up on the natural, creating a bit of a strengthening, at least of the northern side of that wall. Armory to follow it up, all off just one factory, which is now building a reactor, so Widowmine production will be coming in soon. Dark's 4th base down south. is well underway. I wouldn't be surprised to see a macro hatchery nearby, or he's just going to go 5th base. A little bit risky, but could pay off. Oh, the Lings get in! The Lings get into the choke point! Nice micro by Dark. He's actually going to kill all the Marines in the choke point. That was really slick. He's going to go after these Marines outside the choke point as well. Gets 4 SCVs and 3, well, only 3 Marines go down, surprisingly. Thought it would be more than that. Oh, has he got anything at home? He's still rallying! Oh my god, Dark's got nothing at home except Queens. They're not in position. He's not watching. He's so focused on the micro. Dark's not watching. Oh, I mean, he's doing a lot of damage. But can he defend at home is the big question. Those drones are cowering on the gas. They need to run, man. There is not enough units out to defend right now. Oh, the Carapace! He loses Carapace! It's a disaster, mate. Queen's running forward. They're going to go after these medevacs. 1 medevac, very damaged. Good micro on the medevacs by BYUN. He's trying to stand his ground, but I don't think he can. That being said, once the medevacs are down, you are done. And you know what? Dark didn't lose that many drones. He did lose the Carapace, which is the big loss. Gonna keep most of his Queens alive. Hydroden actually gets blocked there. And the Marines, they even grab a drone. 2 drones. Nice micro from BYUN. BYUN, he's got 17 Marines out. He's got a bunch of SCVs trapped inside his base. He's got to just move these guys back out to the 3rd, try to rebuild. It's a 5-base Zerg, and that's Dark's advantage. He can rebuild his economy very quickly if he's given the room to breathe. BYUN has urgency to not only get his 3rd mining, but also get to that next step. Fresh Mule gets picked off. 225 minerals that won't get mined. 2 2s on the way. Man, a crisp 2-2 timing is going to be so hard for Dark to deal with. Dark's on 72 workers, but he needs to stop right there. In my opinion, if he builds any more drones, I don't see him stopping the big 2-2 bio push. That being said, it's only 5 racks. There's no Marauders. Maybe Dark can build a few more drones, actually. 32 Lings and 5 Queens. Not a lot of anti-air. He's building 11 Hydras right now. Oh, he's waiting for Banelings, is he? Oh, no, he's waiting for his Queens. Okay. Maybe waiting for that first stim to wear off as well. Can get the Marines to double stim. That could help. You can't lose the hatchery, though. At least not for free. He gets a bit of an angle on a few of those Marines, but nice pullback to the minerals. And BYUN. Oh, my gosh. Gonna kill a couple Queens. Oh, BYUN's trading so many units, but he does save a few Marines at the tail end of that. Zergling for Dark does spot the incoming attack in the north. It's all unit production on all sides. Now, oh my god, Dark didn't leave anything on the bottom. If that medevac goes back in, he could kill that 4th base. 5th base in the top, fully mining though. That's the more important area for Dark to focus on defending. Widowmine Marine moving north. Oh. Oh my gosh. No Carapace. +2 isn't there for the Marines just yet though. The drones actually take a few Widowmines, which is kind of nice for Dark. At least they're not landing on Hydras. Groove Spines is done for the Hydras, but they don't have the movement speed. 14 drones? He's building 14 drones right now. Okay, Dark. Dark and arrogant. Name a... I don't know if arrogant's the right word. That sounds a bit too... cocky? Cavalier? Risky? Very risky to be droning that hard. And yeah, BYUN actually goes home with most of his units. There's a few Banelings ready for a run by. The Widowmines do get a few decent hits. Overseer coming up to join those Hydras. He needs to make Massling Bane right now. If he can defend with this, I think Dark can stabilize. He does clear the Widowmines up. Nicely done. He's got 1-1-1 upgrades. 2-2 now starts for Dark. But guess what? +3 attacks already started for BYUN. BYUN has a double upgrade advantage. If he can trade Marines against Zerglings or Marines against Hydras, he will be very, very good. I'm a little worried that BYUN's sitting back for too long here. He does have a 4th command center on the way, but I'd like to see him use this window where his upgrade advantage sits a bit earlier. Okay, Marines are going to move around the back here. Someone in chat says, I'm too new to understand what I'm watching, but Terran Micro seems insane. Terran is famous for the race that has damaged the most wrists and arms of players, the most carpal tunnel inducing of the factions. Marines focus the Hydroden. Nicely done. He's going to go hide in the back. Until Hive's out, not much of an answer to that, and this delays muscular augments massively. New Hydroden and Infestation Pit are on the way. More Marines coming forward. Marines are very high damage, but they're very fragile. You want to stim, you want to shoot, and you want to try and target down the Banelings. Keep in mind, guys, any new viewers watching the Banelings, the Roly-Poly Boys, suicide unit, when they die, they do AoE, area effect damage. So if they get up on top of the Marines, one shot almost kills a Marine, and it'll hit a lot of them if it's on top. Oh, those Banelings almost connecting. He's got to pick up. He's got to boost those medevacs. But BYUN, the madman, stands his ground, focuses the Banelings down. Oh my god, he's focusing down more Banelings and Hydras. Dark needs more Ling Bane. He needs more Banelings. There's only 3 in there, and you know BYUN will click those down before they get on top of his army. He's got to manually focus them, though. 1 gets close. 4 more coming in from the south, and BYUN is forced to pick up and save, but there's not enough space for all of them. 16 Marines get out. Infestation Pit goes down. Hydra Den in trouble once again in the main base. It's been a long day casting, and apparently I've used up my words. The Hydra Den gets sniped a second time. 3rd Hydra Den being rebuilt. Dark did manage to start the Hive in time, but he still doesn't have muscular augments, and oh no. BYUN with that 2-2 against 1-1 upgrade advantage, an extra armor, and an extra attack upgrade. Oh, I was going to say makes a big difference. But you know what doesn't care about upgrades? Letting all your Marines get hit by Banelings. BYUN, known for getting very excited in high-pressure moments. We've seen him both come back and throw games away in that scenario, but the reason why he was caught off there, as Dark has to tap out, is actually he was redropping the main. So as that all happened, he was redropping the main, and he was bringing a new army forward, and Dark knew he just could not keep up. Really nice game 1 for BYUN. Omega Greed steals the first map. All right, that was a nice build in game 1. I doubt BYUN plays anywhere near as greedy in game 2 already. Just a barracks first with the gas. Dark in the bottom left. Overwhelmed by the numbers coming in there. Perhaps should have knuckled down on about 65 workers and just massed units and tried to get some counter aggression on, but I gotta say, you don't feel comfortable sitting on that worker count as a Zerg, but definitely shutting down BYUN's aggression maybe had to be the priority a little bit more there. But once he was on the defensive, hatch gas pool for Dark, command center after barracks, no SCV scout for BYUN. So he's just going to rely on that Reaper to see what's going on. Now on this map, you do have a gold base on the right side. I don't really like it that much as the Zerg. If you've got good map control, cool. But this map is all about the Terran push through the watchtower. If the Terran gets this middle area, it's just so hard to engage around this terrain. It's a really awkward area of the map. And you can break down the rocks on the left and kind of run up there, or just run all the way around the left side. But it's definitely something that's, you know, Zerg's got to keep their eyes on. Which is why sometimes expanding up to the top left where there's a rich purple gas is actually the better expansion pattern. Or the safer, I should say. No kills just yet. Good micro by Dark, pulling back his weak boys. Oh, great pullbacks. Yeah, he's good. And BYUN unable to get any kills. Oh, we've been seeing more and more double inject lately. Zergs have really moved away from the early creep tumor, which I think if you're going 16 hatch makes no sense. I say Zergs, I mean like Dark and maybe someone else I've seen do this, but I just think it's so much better. If you're going 15-15, you want to go double inject, but I think in this scenario it is a little better to go for the other way. And he's going to go another inject? Before creep? Okay. Are you flooding Lings? What are we doing? Why do we not care about creep this game, Dark? If you're playing Ling Bane and you've delayed your creep this long, it is a massive handicap. Especially if there was early Hellion aggression. Luckily for him, BYUN's gone 3rd command center before the Hellions. And it's double factory. It's going to be Hellion Cyclone. He's going Roach Warren. Luckily, Ling speed is on the way. Oh, Dark's going... Oh, okay. It's Ravager Ling versus Cyclone Hellion. Okay. If the Cyclone Hellion shows itself first, moves across the map and gets surrounded, easy win for Dark. But Dark's droning now. Pretty hard. What? Okay, this feels like Dark knows what he's playing against. What he's doing makes no sense unless he knows that this is Cyclone Hellion, multiple factory from BYUN. Maybe BYUN's been doing this build too much on this map recently, to the point where Dark's assuming it's going to happen. Because Dark's going 43 drones into Roach Ravager Zergling. And you know what? If he just, yeah, if he surrounds the Cyclone Hellion, it's an easy win. If he pushes across, though, and BYUN swaps into tank production, Tank Hellion Cyclone can very well defend this. Zergling gets picked off. It's all about information, and I don't think BYUN saw that the drone count was so low on this base. So I think he's just kind of chilling, thinking he's playing a normal game. Another Ling runs past. If he pulls back to defend that, He might not see these roaches. Oh, he sees it. He sees it. Roaches in the middle of the map. There are 3 Cyclones, but he needs to swap to tanks right now. Cyclones seem like a good unit until you're trying to defend with Cyclone Hellion against Zerglings, and you realize the Cyclones are just an okay unit. He needs tanks. He needs tanks to defend. Oh my god, he's going to run by as well. I think he thinks it might be a fake out. Dark often fakes out. There's no bunker either. No bunker, no tank. BYUN is showing no respect to this push whatsoever. BYUN literally is like, whatever, I'm making Cyclones. I can defend this easy. But if he gets surrounded, it's going to go very poorly for him. Oh! No, he sees another roach coming. Another roach coming. And now he sees the Lings as well. BYUN should know exactly what's happening. You got a Tech Lab factory? Build a tank. It's so easy to defend if you build a tank, mate. BYUN is playing so greedy right now. Oh, he's playing so greedy. Cyclones are good. These are not the old Cyclone. They don't have the same range. They can kite against this okay, but the Biles are actually really good against them. Oh my gosh. Oh. Dude, nice spreadies on the Biles. The depots are going down. Okay, what do we got? Cyclones coming forward. Oh my god. One Ravager does fall. He's got Mass Ling looking for the surround. The Cyclones are on the left. Ling's going to go in for a big surround. SCVs come forward to try and tank. Oh, the Cyclone Alien's getting overwhelmed. The Ling's actually pulling back now. He's trying to save the Zerglings until the Ravagers are fully engaged. Big Biles all over that mineral line. The Corrosive Biles smashing the mineral line. The Ravagers letting their force be known. So many workers going down. Looks like BYUN will hold on. Oh, wait, no, more Lings come in. Hold that thought. More Lings coming in on the right side. I thought BYUN was about to hold. The numbers are getting very low on both sides. The SCV line's already being cleared, though, so there's already been a lot of damage. The Ravagers getting picked off. Cyclones on the right are getting picked off by Zerglings. Nice micro by BYUN, though. BYUN does end up holding on there, but you can imagine with a single tank in the back from the start, how much easier that defense is. And this is something I think the multiple factory guys, I learned this the other day because I did the exact same thing maybe a week or two ago that BYUN just did. I saw Roachling coming. I said, no worries. I've got lots of Cyclone Hellion. I'll be fine. And then they just killed me. And I was like, oh, I thought Cyclones defend that. And it's like, no, tanks have much better range. Just get a siege tank. It's so much better. Because Cyclones are good at microing on the map. But if you're defending at your base, you don't have a lot of room to micro. And if you go out on the map, you'll get surrounded by the Zerglings. So it's the combination of the Speedlings with the Ravagers that makes that so hard to deal with. At the end of the day, 29 workers go down. There is a third command center. But look at this. Dark's already up to 60 workers. He's mining out the right to take a fourth. He's got Burrow, +1 range on the way. Carapace starting up. And as the lair finishes, Roach Speed will be next. The second the lair finishes, Roach Speed starts up. And BYUN now starting tanks. Things coming in. Cyclone pull on the right side. Oh, ouch, 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 ouch. Cyclone chilling. Does block the Zerglings. Feels like there's no progression for BYUN. Oh, as I say that, fourth base goes down. This depot is not in a wall off. BYUN's in massive panic mode right now. I like the barracks on the left watching for run-bys. The units on the right on the watchtowers. Dark's just on 63 drones, massing Roach Ravager. 2 more factories go down, as well as the double armory. So I take back what I said about there being no progression. 4th command center, double armory, 5 factory is the way to go. But he needs another tech lab. He's got to stop. He needs to... There we go, yeah. 2nd tech lab's up. So now that he's on double tank production, I think it's like if you can get to 6 tanks, you got a decent chance of holding. Right now he has 1. And I think he'll have 3 out by the time this Roach attack hits. That being said... Dark started droning and building an infestation pit. He might not be committing. Oh, he's looking for the wraparound. He's looking for the wraparound. Look at those Lings on the right side. He broke down the rocks behind the gold. Oh, Roach Speed is here. He's going to jump on top of these Cyclones. Massive, massive hits. And those Cyclones are getting ravaged. So many go down. And does get 4 of them out. I mean, saving any is a good maneuver for BYUN. But it's a terrible position that he found himself in. 5th command center goes down. BYUN is realizing this game is only going to be won if he just survives for a very long time. He's got +1 range or vehicle weapons. No armor upgrade started just yet. He's trying to make more tech labs. 3 tech labs, 2 factories. I'd like to see a few more Hellions in the mix just as a very cost-efficient way of getting tanky units up front. Without them, it's hard to deal with the Zerglings as well. That being said, Cyclones are a bit more microable, so I can understand why he does it. I like the engineering bay, creating a bit of a semi-wall there. Trying to wall off as best he can. You can see the tank's giving some ranged firepower, but he's got to be careful. Here comes Dark from both sides. Roach Ravager, Zergling pushing in. Biles are going to land on those siege tanks. Oh, there's just so much Zerg. And a beautiful spread. The Lings get on top. The tank line starts to fall. And Dark ties up the series 1-1. All right, guys. Let's go. Game 3, the decider. Dark in the top right side of the map. And BYUN in the bottom left of Solaris. Oh, hello. Command center first into double gas. BYUN is doing a very special build order. How much has he... I like this new BYUN that does different things every game. I don't know how long he'll last. He still doesn't scout much, which I'm fine with. BYUN only scouts if he has a unit that can go kill things with the scouting. I do like Marine into Factory. If you're going to do double gas, I think it's much better than opening Reaper with CC first. Because the Reaper just slows down the Factory by too long. Now, Overlord sees Command Center first. He's going to pull back to the Pillar. Good choice. And Dark, moving out to take a third. You'll notice he's also pulled 2 workers off gas. And he shouldn't really start link speed straight away. There's just no reason to. Because you see a Command Center first. Even if it is Hellions, those Hellions are delayed by a good 20 or 30 seconds. So you don't need link speed as early as you might otherwise. Why do Zerg buildings start dying if they're not on creep? Creep feeds them. So they basically starve to death. I think that's actually the law. Ooh. 4 Lings coming in. Careful, BYUN. Look at those 2 Lings. They're hiding. He's trying to trap the Marine. But BYUN reacts pretty quickly. Oh, is it quickly enough, though? Oh, my God, he gets it. Does he? No, he doesn't. He doesn't get it because he went for the SCV. Okay, he still gets 2 SCVs. Oh, did he get the Marine as well? No. Oh, he gets the Marine and a bunch of SCVs. And he slows the Factory from swapping. This is the weakness of going 1 Marine with a CC first opening. If they make 4 Lings... Look at how problematic it is. What if you made 6 Lings, guys, off Hatchery first? You're like... you're kind of open to the Zerg just messing with you. This sort of greedy one actually works best when they are one of the players who doesn't build Lings until they see the Reaper coming out. Which, when Command Center first is really popular, a lot of players do that. 3rd Command Center in the main into 2nd Factory. Wait. This mad lad. Is he going to go mech 2 games in a row? BYUN playing more mech is weird. BYUN's wrist really must be hurting. I think Maru is influencing him because him and Maru are friends. They have been for a long time. They both played on Prime many years ago in Wings of Liberty when Maru was just a wee lad and BYUN was a bit of an older brother figure to him. And I know Maru loves to mix in mech and slower styles in general because of his shoulder issues. BYUN has, of course, heart-wrenching wrist issues. And seeing Maru play so much mech recently maybe has inspired BYUN. We saw BYUN play a really good game, get really far ahead the other week. And then, was it Dark? Was down 50 supply against his mech and then came back and won the game? I can't remember what happened in that game except that BYUN really messed it up. Just showed that I think Dark was way more experienced. The fact that BYUN's still trying to keep playing mech here against it shows he's willing to put in the time and the losses to learn. And that's a big part of StarCraft. If you're not willing to invest in losing with a style on the when there's money on the line, you're probably not going to get that good with it. So we got 7 Roaches on the way. Still Mass Cyclone coming in. He didn't get Thrusters just yet. I would expect him to get that with his next 100 gas. But he's busy microing on the front. Hellions. Taking out 2 Tumors is not too bad. Sees that there's no Ling speed. So at least he knows he's not getting all in this time. Just defensive Roaches. Only 47 drones for 45 SCVs, which is great for BYUN. Already floating his 3rd out at equal workers. But no Hurricane Thrusters just yet. And I gotta wonder, does he realize that he forgot that upgrade? I don't think so. I think he probably thinks he started it, but didn't quite have the money. Let's go to his vision. Double Armory coming in. Interesting. I don't mind skipping the speed upgrade personally. I've just noticed that most players like BYUN and Maru love to rush that upgrade. Already getting tanks out and a 4th command center along with the double armory. So BYUN's going to play a nice defensive mech game this time around. Double Evo chamber there. Range and carapace on the way. Roach speed as well. About to be up on 66 workers is Dark, but where is his 4th base? I've got to ask that question. We just saw him look down the bottom. See where the blue kind of vision is and the red vision? So you can see he's going to go for that 4th base momentarily. No Infestation Pit, no Hydra Den though. Dark, there we go. Infestation Pit does drop. He might try Nidus Swarmhost. It's a pretty cute style. That being said, I think BYUN's had a good enough start. He should be able to deal with Nidus Swarmhost. Might just be going Hive and Viper. Single Hellion pokes forward. Does see that hatchery building, but he doesn't want to get caught. I like that BYUN's playing a bit safer this time. Fifth base up north as well. It's a good idea to expand in different directions against mech. They're going to do a frontal push. Sometimes, because they're immobile, you want to just give up the base, run to the other side. So against mech, you should always, rather than build a macro hatch, take a 4th base on one side, a 5th on the other. And if you can do them both at the same time like this, that's ideal, because then you can pick and choose where you want to allocate your workers based on your opponent's positioning. Hive is coming in, so it's going to be fast at Vipers. He doesn't have a Hydra Den yet, though. Dark, have you forgotten Hydras, mate? Hydra's pretty important, all lurkers. You can technically just play Roach. He's going to go Banelings. Is he going to go Ultraling Bane? No, surely not. I doubt it. Tank count's growing. Blue Flame, Hurricane Thrusters, 1-1 upgrades. 5 factories, 3 tech labs, 2 reactors. 4th base, morphing into a planetary. Creep spreading all over the map pretty well. Does need to respread on the south a little bit. Dark's got great control across the spread. Anytime you expand forwards, you make it easier for those mech armies to get to you. Expanding in a straight line generally does put more room between you and them, but of course, if BYUN pushes out that right side, it's not too far to drive a wedge in between these 2 bases. Overseer scouting the main, sees what's up. Melee and +2 range on the way. Those attack upgrades usually very important for Zerg to kill the mech units, as armor doesn't do a lot against siege tanks. Spire coming in, and we've got 4 Vipers. Nice move. Lots of abducts. Even abducting Cyclones isn't a bad move. You can abduct 2 Cyclones, go back, get more energy, come in again. One problem Dark has shown in the past is sometimes letting his Vipers die after they cast their spells. I think with this style, it hits peak efficiency if you never let those Vipers die. Oh, BYUN's already pushing. Dude, it's a 4-base push. 2-2 started up behind it as well. He's on 1-1 right now, up against the 1-1 range carapace upgrades. Dark needs to find a way to slow down this army, but he doesn't have any Banelings morphed. He's trying to morph Ravagers right now, but he hasn't got them just yet. Ling Roach coming in. He's going to try and jump on top. He gets a good angle here. The tanks, a few of them do siege. The Cyclones pulling back. BYUN fighting man mode right now, like Gumiho does, without sieging the tanks. A very brave maneuver, and you know what? I think it works out just fine. Tanks only sieging 1 or 2 at a time. Most of his units are just kind of moving forward. And there we go. He sieges the 4 tanks. They're a little bit clumped. Ravager Biles could be deadly. Blue Flame Aliens doing well versus the Zerglings. Roaches do take out one of the Cyclones. The Siege Tank friendly fire was actually kind of big there. You got to be real careful as BYUN in this scenario. It looks like he's getting a lot of damage done. 2-2s on the way. Dark's going to have to give up this base. He's still got 4 bases in the south. 5th base coming up. He's got a counterattack. He can't just be sitting here on the defense. The fact that he's letting BYUN rally across the map is criminal. BYUN only has 4 Cyclones on the defense. And against a mech player, if you let them rally forward and reinforce their army, it almost never ends well for the Zerg. Those 2 tanks being abandoned up front. Oh, he's moving in a bit of an awkward angle. Here come the Vipers. Vipers are a little far behind this army. Blinding Clouds are going down, though. Those tanks only getting a single shot off before they do get taken down. Nice abducts, but abducting Cyclones rather than tanks. A slightly odd choice there for Dark. Biles spread across the line, but the line moves forward. BYUN does not care. Oh, the Ravager Ling is starting to get shredded, but there's enough Lings. And look at that. Nice Biles do take out the front 2 tanks. Ling Ravager trying to dance backwards. Units lost tab. 600 more resources lost for Dark than BYUN. Dark, though, does have that rich gas base up. He's got the Greatest Spire coming in. BYUN, on the other hand, has 4 more commands in his building. BYUN needs to chill for a minute. Make sure his army rebuilds. Find the money for 3-3 if he can get it. But he also is going to need to start Thors. If he keeps attacking and losing his tanks and Cyclones, doesn't get a Thor transition ready, then a Broodlord swap from Dark could catch him off guard. I believe it was Broodlords that completely ruined him last time they played. I think it was a game on Alcyon or something like that. Where, yeah, he tried to like shove in, maybe it was Hardlead actually, a ton of his army died to just a few Broodlords. It was really painful to watch because he just didn't have anything that shoots up other than a few Cyclones, and they can't really close the gap. 5 Corruptors building for Dark. He's thinking about the Broodlord swap. He's still got all 4 Vipers alive, so hats off to Dark for his Viper recycling this game. Whoa, BYUN, this is a bad move. What is BYUN doing? He's playing like he's got bio. This is a mech army. I mean, this is so many Cyclones to throw away. He's not even going to kill the hatchery. I think this is not Marine Medevac. You can't do those moves with mech, mate. That was a very poor move. He's got a good supply and money, but he's much higher on workers. He's got to be careful that he doesn't get overwhelmed. He's building starports. He doesn't know about the Broodlords. He's going to try another push. He's far ahead in this game. But the problem is, Dark still has a 5-base economy going on 6 bases, and he's got a Broodlord swap coming, and BYUN is simply not prepared for this. He's simply not prepared for this. He's going to poke in and try to get some more trades. BYUN has an advantage, and as a bio player at his heart, in all of his experience, he's mostly a bio player. When you're ahead as a bio player, you push to keep winning. As a mech player, you transition to the next step. BYUN is trying to push for the victory while slowly transitioning, and he's going to get caught out. Oh, no, not again. So many units getting abducted. The Broodlord's doing pretty darn well there. He did lose 1 Broodlord. Nice lock-ons for BYUN to actually get a kill there. But still, the other Broodlords are going to come forward. The tanks, not very effective against this. Look at those friendly fire is just insane. He needs to get out of here at the same time. Looks like Baneling's rolled into his 3rd base. 17 workers go down. BYUN still has 77 workers, but he's losing so many units right now. And this is why you need to pre-build Thors or Vikings or both in that army. BYUN, a little bit too slow. Thors are not great against Roach Ravager, Zergling, Baneling. They just are not the best unit. But you have to pre-build them. They still fight. They still tank. They're still not a terrible unit to have. And they're so good against, of course, those big boy Broodlords. Viper Blinding Clouds. Oh my gosh. Those Blinding Clouds. The Bile's coming down. Almost Biles down his own Viper. Does start losing some Vipers, actually. A little sloppy there. But the Blinding Clouds are devastating. Broodlords on the front. Queens are here. They could deal with the Vikings eventually, but the Cyclones do take care of them. BYUN losing an entire army in the south. In the middle, if he can get rid of these Broodlords, maybe it's worth it. He's back up to 88 workers. He's massing Cyclones like a mad lad. He wants the flexibility of those Cyclones. It looks like he's giving up on the Broodlords is Dark. BYUN should be able to clear all those up. The question is, can he gather up ground defenses in time to defend the Roach Ravager? Cyclones trying to lock on. Remember, they aren't the best damage dealers. And those Vikings are going to take out the Broodlords, but they're taking a while to do it, man. The last Broodlord being so annoying. Finally, it does go down, but another 19 workers have fallen, and Dark wisely pulls back before the numbers scale in BYUN's favor. +3 vehicle armor on the way, +3 weapons is already done. Dark continuing, +3 melee, +2 carapace. He's already got +3 range. A few infestors coming out, and a few queens being rebuilt as well. Looks like that tank in the north does get cleaned up. Dark still got 80 workers mining. Bottom base and top base are all up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases up. 7th base building. Cyclone dive getting ready for BYUN once more. BYUN sees that there is a lot of bases. Oh, sorry, Dark sees that there's a lot of bases for BYUN on his side of the map. And that's the thing, is he can rebuild. He's building so many tanks right now. He's got 3-3, he's got good upgrades, but he's got to defend for a little. He's got to pull back and finish maxing. Whereas for Dark, he's got to get the damage done, and he's got to do it soon. And he knows that, so he's going to do it. Parasitic bombs go out onto those, but the Viper's not long for this world. Mass Bile, dude! For those who don't know, the number is 25. 25 Ravagers is what it takes to one-shot a planetary fortress or an orbital command center. But with the added roach damage there as well, it was even less than that. Tank Cyclone trying to defend the south, but that means the north is wide open. And remember, he can spread the biles across, so you can't repair. You can't repair that. Oh, man. Another planetary gets bile busted. Dark here. Oh, does leave a few roaches behind. He's going to pull back with the rest of what he's got. BYUN tries to counter push. Bio player's instincts here are actually the right response this time, which is counter push. Whenever you lose your economy, you have to go push. Use your army advantage that you've got right there and see what you can get done. Cyclones running forwards. Tanks as well. The Ravagers trying to fight. Oh, great fungal comes in there. Biles landing across that front line. Dark needs more Zerglings out to try and hang on. The Cyclone's trying to push forward, but BYUN is desperate. BYUN's income is actually really high right now because mules are a thing, and he has 6 orbitals, so apparently he's got decent mining. Oh, but the Ling Bait is going to get some very good angles. Tanks on the south getting good shots off on those Banelings, though. Good micro backwards for BYUN. More roaches coming from behind at the same time. Liberator came in, it killed 10 workers. Dark's income's taking a hit as well. Dude, Dark's actually down on income. What the hell? Dark's actually down on income. That Liberator doing the Terran Lord's work. Oh me, oh my. Oh, damn. BYUN channeling some of that hatred for the dirty bugs right now. He is squishing on them. He is, oh man, I'm from Rio de Janeiro, and I say kill them all. BYUN just wanting to squash the heck out of every single one of those bugs, man. The tanks and the Cyclones running forward. I can't believe he's brought this game back. He threw away a couple of armies. It's not over yet, though. Similar army supply. It's all about the engagements. That hatchery in the north is going down. Cyclones find the southern base at the same time. Oh, Dark needs a good fight, but he loses a bunch of Ravagers. He does take out 2 tanks, I think, with the Biles, but a lot of Ravagers go down, as do a few Cyclones. Dark loses a base. Cyclones in the south get defended. Dark has the very southern base. That 6 o'clock base maybe is saving grace. Income. What? What is this income? Oh my god, 6 orbitals dropping mules. I'm like, BYUN lost like 4 bases and 60 workers. He's back up to 74 workers. He's mining 4,000 minerals a minute. This man is disgustingly rich. He has so much money. The orbital command center explosion means he can come back from losing his entire economy multiple times. BYUN is zerging the Zerg player right now with mass Cyclone Alien mech. Lings in the planetary, or the orbital, taking out a lot of SCVs on that base. He's lost 90 workers this game. They had to do a pause. They quickly unpause. Command center finds the 6 o'clock base. 16 workers go down. BYUN is still almost even on workers. And whenever he drops mules, his income jumps right up. Tanks and Cyclones keeping up a bit of a contain there. The tanks actually take a while to rotate their turrets. That is a funny thing about the way the tank behaves. They catch an Infestor popping out. Nice move. But Ling's coming in again. Plenty of Cyclones and tanks to defend. Dark just cannot overwhelm this ridiculous amount of mech. BYUN making it happen right now in a big way. Biles landing on these tanks. And he does take down one of them. The second one barely surviving. More Cyclones coming up. As long as he holds this tank position, it's hard for Dark to engage. But remember, the supply for BYUN is not that high anymore. His income's a little bit lower. Those Ling run buys have really been ruining that base. Income is 1,200 minerals for Dark. Goes up to 1,800 for Dark. Sorry, 1,800 for BYUN, but that's only temporary. Only when he's got the mules down. Nice catch here. Dark supply hanging on. Dark does not have a lot of mining, guys. He hasn't rebuilt the top base. He's long distance mining. His bottom base, this base, he's got like 1.5 bases of mining. Whereas BYUN actually has a decent amount of money. Lings do come in and kill a siege tank. And the SCVs with the repair will manage to defend that siege tank. So 1 tank for a bunch of Lings, normally a good trade, but Dark is rather poor. This is where he gets the value. 3-2 Adrenal Zerglings running into that expansion. Another 10 SCVs going down. Cyclone getting surrounded as well. These Lings do crazy damage, man. Shame that he didn't burrow. There we go. Does burrow a few Zerglings. Forces the scan out. And you're going to have to repair that orbital if you don't want it to die, man. He's got to drop a mule to repair that. Okay, he's running SCVs down to repair right now in the north. Roaches run in. Dude, Dark's harassment. Dark's harassment is off the chain. At the same time, BYUN pushed forward, denied this base. Though I don't think it was even being rebuilt yet. But at least he's denying the location. Viper abducting a Cyclone. Well done. 16 more SCVs go down. Units lost to have 2,000 resources in favor of Dark. And guess what? Dark has 3 Broodlords in a dream. The man is trying to poke in and use those siege tanks' friendly fire against each other. Cyclones running forward. Queens come forward with the transfusers. The Broodlords with the Vipers is more than enough to deal with this. He does blinding cloud the Cyclones, but they can still use their lock-ons. 3 Broodlords alive. Oh my god, they all barely survive. He pushes back the siege tanks. That is a massive move for Dark, who now starts 4 Infestors. BYUN running in the north side right now, taking out a lot of these overlords. This is a barn burner of a StarCraft game right now. And look at that, he pulls back. Realizing these are not Marines with medevacs to get them out of trouble. Does pull back at the right time, but uh-oh. Oh, fresh mules. Fresh mules getting caught out. Oh no, he's going to run those all to a different base. Does save most of them. Cyclones will clean up these Zerglings, but guess what? Southern base gets caught out. BYUN has plenty of gas, so at least he can give this base up, but he's got to lift it right now. He will lose a lot more workers at the same time. Don't think he has a scan available. So that top base causing trouble with the burrowed Zerglings. Dark being a big nuisance. His income, way less than BYUN's whenever mules are mining though. Those mules are just so good at keeping BYUN in this game. Rich gas base here is starting to long distance mine. It is slowly building up. The Infestors coming in could be the game changer. They don't have Neural, but Fungal plus Parasitic Bomb on Liberator Viking is huge. And remember, what other anti-air do you have? 3 Thors. Okay, he starts 3 Thors. That'll do. Cyclones push back the Zerglings. In the south, that orbital is pulling back, and I think that's a good idea. Consolidate your position of these northern bases that are most important. Dark's doing the same. This base is mined out, so both players are basically just focusing on the bottom right and the top left bases, the rich gas, and the corners. I think these bases have more left to mine for Dark. He has been more efficient. And I actually think this is a good move now. Moving in with Cyclones to pick off some tech could be a really good move. If he did that, it would be okay, but he has to dive the front at the same time. And the problem is with Fungal Broodlord, Cyclones aren't that good. He's got 43 Cyclones? Oh my gosh. Okay, BYUN. What the hell, dude? Are you serious? That's so funny. Orbital floating to the top. It's a good choice. How many orbitals does he have? Still 6. 6 is good. Really good for this stage of the game. I don't know what you do as Dark here. Like, do you just make more broods? He's making Corruptors one at a time. And I think Neural, oh, of course. Basically, if he can fungal bile the Cyclones a bit, that's good. But more important is neuraling the Thors. If you mind control the Thors and make them turn on their own side, it's you use a 2 supply unit to steal 6 of their supply and turn it against their own side. It is a massive supply swing. Removing 6 of their supply and adding it to your own army, it's a 12 supply swing off of a 2 supply unit. That's where the real power could be. Parasitic bombs come down, bile spread across, but they don't take out the libs. Cyclones pushing forward, BYUN's going for it. Oh, big fungus. Big fungus right there. And that is very hard to deal with for BYUN. If BYUN wants to push in, he kind of needs to get a move on, but the faster he pushes in, the easier it is to fungal. I like this choice. Okay, yeah, 2 Cyclones, go for the Infestor. That's the sort of move you want to go for. But look at that. Doesn't get the Infestor, loses both Cyclones because they were so low. Other Cyclones going for the counterattack. That's a great move, but he needs to pull this army back. The Thor's trying to defend from the Broodlords. Oh, he's actually going to hold position pretty well. Cyclones moving into the main. Clearing the tech is very effective, but oh, we let a Thor get caught out. That must have been a misclick sending that Thor north. He's going to attack south right now. Morphing Broodlord Cocoon does get taken out. Partial refund there for Dark as it did not finish. Viper gets picked off. Blinding Cloud comes in. We've got the Cyclones and the Thors trying to take him out. One of the Thors is in splash damage mode. Not very effective. Cyclones up north, killing the Hive. Meanwhile, in the far north, Zerglings find an undefended mineral line, which is basically all of them. Neuroparasites on the Thors. One of the Thors turning against his own side, doing massive damage. But a lot of the Zerg is going down at the same time. Hive falls. Top base does get lifted. This is absolute chaos. The Thor goes down. Bile does land on some of his own Roaches and Ravagers. We've got only a few units left here for Dark. He's down in supply. And he's got to make magic happen with those Infestors, but he doesn't feel he can do it. BYUN, with a ridiculous economy and some of the worst defense of his economy that we've ever seen from a mech player. But he does it anyway. 136 SCVs going down. Dude, Dark must have felt gutted. When you kill that many workers and still lose to Terran, it is such an alien experience. You're kind of just sitting there shaking your head going, did I just kill 140 workers and still lose the game? And you're just kind of like, huh? But that's because BYUN got ahead. BYUN macroed like a beast. He got ahead, and even though he traded worse, he just sucked up more resources and overwhelmed Dark. GG, well played. BYUN is apparently a mech god.